Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Technology Officer, Allan Leinwand.
So we're competing with free beer, which is never easy to do. So thanks for coming. So what we're here for today is something really exciting. We're actually going to give away $1 million in cash and prizes. So I don't know, money, alcohol, they kind of both play nicely in my mind. So we're going to have some fun up here. I don't know if you understand what you're seeing, so I want to sort of go through the process of what it actually took to get here. We're handing out prizes to the top 3 teams that have been creating on our platform. And this started with 250 different teams being built from 250 different companies. It started with people in 43 different countries participating in the CreatorCon challenge. We ended up with 50 qualified entries. Never before have we seen this many people developing on the platform and really being able to deliver the power of ServiceNow. We ended up with 24 shortlisted companies. These are people we talked to, got input from, reviewed videos. These are brand new organizations that are built on top of ServiceNow. And we ended up with 8 shortlisted finalists. These 8 shortlisted finalists have a pretty cool benefit. Not only did they get built on ServiceNow, but they got free passes and travel to Knowledge. So they actually got to be here. And they're over in the Developer Hub. So if you happen to go out there and see the mission to Mars and what's going on in Developer Hub, you'll actually see that they're actually there as well. Out of those 8 finalists, we ended up interviewing them, talking to them, doing in-person sort of video chats, because some of them you'll see were from faraway places like Australia. And we ended up with 3 finalists. So it's pretty cool. 3 finalists. So what you're going to see is the 3 finalists come up here on stage in just a minute. And then we're going to judge them with 3 illustrious judges. I think you know a couple of them. And then we're going to basically give out some cash and prizes. Not a bad way to finish up day 1. So glad to have you here. Before I go forward, though, I want to acknowledge our finalists from last year. So Brian, where are you at? There he is. Stand up, take a bow. So Brian's from Factor 5. He was up here on stage last year. He got a big check. And he's gone off and done some pretty amazing things with it. 5 new customer wins. And keep in mind, this company didn't exist a year ago. Average ACV of $400K. That, if I do the math right, so check me, Brian, about $2 million in revenue. So 0 to $2 million on the ServiceNow platform in less than a year, literally. And they're going for their Series A funding right now. This is a real company. Awesome job. All right. So now I get to have some fun. I get to bring some friends out on stage. So without further ado, I'd like to bring out on stage 3 people I'm honored and proud to call friends, peers, and in this particular case, our judges. Come on out. BJ, Fred, and Om. No, over there. All right. I think you know at least one of these people. Fred, of course, is our founder and chairman at ServiceNow. I know him a little bit. BJ, CEO of Lighter Capital, and Om Malik, you might know, is partner at True Ventures. So they're really industry luminaries and really able to do some amazing things within technology. They're going to be judging our 3 finalists in just a few minutes. But I want to take a moment and acknowledge those that actually made it onto the short list. These are the 8 companies that, again, won their trip to Knowledge, won the ability to come and present in the Developer Hub, and really have the ability to build on the platform and work with us over the past year of trying to get to what we're actually going to have here tonight. The prizes, to give you an idea of what we're doing here, $500K in cash investment, real, like cash. I know Vegas speaks cash, so we'll go with that. $500K in sales, marketing, business development efforts, really the power of ServiceNow behind them. Showcase here at Knowledge, showcase in the future, some really exciting things that we're going to be doing. So let me go ahead and bring out the finalists and tell you a little bit how this is going to work. So come on out, our 3 finalists, Enable Labs, Recruit Live, and Sales One. There's more. There we go. I think they're nervous, so no pressure. Are you guys nervous? You can get a cocktail if you want. It's Vegas, you know. All right, and no humor, no kidding around. Okay, so the way this is going to work is each of the teams is going to come up and present for 5 minutes, and there's going to be a counter. It's like 5 hard minutes. And then these guys are going to question them for 5 minutes, and we're going to go through each of the teams in order. But most importantly, what we're going to do is we're going to have you help us pick the winner. So the way the judging works is these guys each get a vote, and you guys get a vote. And at the end of the day, about 15, 20 minutes from now, we're going to give away a lot of money. So this is going to be a lot of fun. How you feeling? All right, we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and introduce our first team, Enable Labs. I'm going to step to the side. Judges, good? All right, who's first? Here you guys go. Welcome Enable Labs onto the stage. Start the clock.
There you go. There you go.
Huh?
Got it. Hi, I'm George Skordos from Enable Labs, and this is Rick Kuhn, our head of product delivery. And we're here to talk about Toolbox, a mobile application for the construction industry. Toolbox manages site and safety in construction by automating the interaction between people and machinery. Construction sites, they're busy, expensive machinery, a lot of people, they're generally unsafe. And the statistics actually tell us that. So there'll be 840,000 injuries in construction in the US this year. The economic impact of that is quite large. 750 million in construction injury costs in the state of Washington alone. That's why when we talk to construction companies, they tell us that they want to reduce those costs and they also want to protect their people better. And over to you, Rick, to tell us how we do that.
So what does Toolbox do? Well, from a mobile application, we can onboard workers and check their certifications. We can raise safety breaches and hazards, including photos. We can manage safety briefings and record attendance. And we can asset tag equipment, and then being able to scan the QR codes, we can get to the details of that equipment quickly, including things like maintenance history and safety check. And on top of that, we can actually log accidents. So we're taking information such as location, weather, people actually doing the work, and then being able to see all that on a single map. But by far the most, I guess, impressive thing that we're doing with Toolbox is using ServiceNow's agent intelligence. So combining machine learning, predictive modeling, and simulations, Toolbox can predict accidents happening before they occur, reducing the number of injuries and fatalities. But that's not all we're doing. With Toolbox, we've got an IoT integration framework which will turn Toolbox into a worksite IoT command center, which will help with people and machines working together safely. And on top of that, we'll be integrating with blockchain to create smart contracts so that suppliers can monetize their machine-to-machine payments. We forecast our average ACV sale to be 300K with a revenue target of 20 million by 2021.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, something happened that really brought home what Toolbox is there to achieve. I was catching up with my friend Gary, who's a crane driver, and to show him Toolbox. And Gary showed me this article that you can all see. It's a story about a well-known construction company being fined $3 million for an incident that caused death involving a crane. What had happened was there was a driver that used a crane that was licensed to lift 4 tons, and he used it to lift a 5-ton generator, fatally injuring one of his co-workers. Gary, my friend, turned around to me and said, "You know what? I probably would have done the same thing to get the job done and finish early." And that's when it actually hit me. This is what Toolbox is set out to prevent. Because had Gary been using Toolbox, he would have scanned himself on site using his mobile phone. He would have then scanned his crane to make sure that he'd been safety checked. His co-worker would have also scanned the generator to see if it was off power, and Toolbox Talk would have told him, the site manager who could see this all by geolocation, that, you know what, we don't have the right equipment to do this work. And they would have probably left it for another day. No manslaughter charges, no fine for the company, and everyone would have gone home safe that night. So the future of work is all about using machine learning, AI, and IoT. But we've built Toolbox that uses ServiceNow supervised machine learning to keep people safe. And we think that's something worth investing in. Thank you very much.
So hang out here for a second, guys. If you think it's easy to be first on this stage, it's not. Just for the record. Judges, any questions?
Yes. So can you give a concrete example of machine learning and how that's going to help predict that something might happen?
Yep, so if we take that example of the crane, right, we'd be logging that as an accident. And as we log that accident, we'd be taking information of all the things that surround it. So people who use the crane, the certifications, whether there were any safety breaches against that crane or the asset, the location, the weather. And combining all that, we'd be running machine learning across that, and then teaching that machine learning to be able to say, okay, well, if we see something similar like this, it's likely to result in an accident, and alerting people to that.
So my question, I mean, number one, you'd need a big data set existing if you could possibly for that. But my question is a little more like, who are you selling to? So you're selling to the construction company, and what's their monetary risk right now? Their monetary risk that you're saving them from is getting a fine? Because we have workers' comp, right? So let's say a worker gets injured, that's actually paid by the state, and the employers pay into that as a form of insurance, effectively, right? So are you mostly saving them from a fine?
So
like what's the value prop kind of there?
There's various costs that are borne both by the construction industry and the economy in general. So you would have seen in that example, there was a $4 million fine against the construction company for safety breaches. You might have seen in the photo of the article, there was a great big crane that had tipped over, which I'm assuming the construction company would have probably had to pay for. So there's a whole heap of machinery costs as well that get borne every time there's an accident, and hence there's a large cost associated with any workplace accident in the construction industry. So yes, our target market is large construction companies.
Okay.
How do you guys get paid? Are you getting paid per incident, or is it per month license fee? How do the construction companies pay you?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
How do you get paid?
Oh, how do we get paid? Yeah, so our average licensing ACV will be $300,000 a year. So it'll be an annual fee. And that will depend on the various modules that the organization purchases. So I think we talked about having things like machine learning, IoT integration, weather integration. Depending on what they purchase, the safety API that we have I guess that links into all the regulatory authorities will have a scale from commercial to enterprise.
So is it like a monthly recurring revenue model, or is it like one-time sale?
It'll be recurring revenue annually.
Okay. And just a follow-up to that, do you have to localize your product based on geographies, like let's say Australia versus America versus?
Well, actually, we've built the product so we don't have to do that. So what we have is we have an API that will link into regulatory authorities. So traditionally, the way that safety systems have been built, they're very compliance heavy at the, I guess, headquarters of the organization. So what we're saying is, that's not what we do. We do safety at the pointy end, where we save lives. The compliance bit will have an API that can integrate to, I think in the US it's OSA or any other council or building permit or whatever you need to do in terms of where you are. So that's not something that we're taking care of in the app. We'll have an API that integrates that we exchange information.
And the IoT integration, what devices have you integrated with, and what are you envisioning?
So, for example, we're in our SI days, when we worked as SI implementation partners for ServiceNow, integrations that we've done there or devices that we've had in our IoT ServiceNow network have been things like smart meters for utilities, to be able to take, I guess, readings off those smart meters, if there's an incident, if they need changing, if the asset needs replacement, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Enable Labs.
Hey, guys.
Great job, guys. Clicker to the next guy. All right. That was number one, so keep that in mind. Number two, Employee X. You guys ready? All right. Start the clock.
Hi, I'm Sukhinder Jain, Managing Director of Recruit Live. I'm an investor and an entrepreneur, having built companies in HR, procurement, and recruitment industries.
And I'm Rob Tanner, Head of Product Development with experience across finance, transport, and telco.
Welcome to Employee X, our next generation HCM solution. Why are we different? Employee X complements ServiceNow's HR offering to provide complete employee lifecycle. And not just that, it delivers it through a great user experience using Rex, our intelligent chatbot and machine learning system. Many of today's enterprises are using several disjointed point-to-point solutions, creating a negative user experience. To solve this problem, we created Employee X.
4 months ago, we set ourselves the ambitious target of creating a solution that works for the employee and solves point-to-point HR solutions. We assessed the current landscape, and we found that health and well-being, training, performance, payroll, talent, and travel make up a huge part of supporting the employee lifecycle. So we've brought them together to create one of the most comprehensive employee solutions on platform. And this is the interesting part. Each one of these is a specific module designed to assist the employee. As a couple of examples, health and well-being to support physical and mental health. Training to schedule courses and support certification. Performance to set your goals and work in collaboration with your managers. Payroll to retrieve information, submit leave, and even retrieve annual tax statements. Talent, manage your job applications, and also, even if you're a manager, query talent pools for urgent resources. And of course, travel. Who wouldn't want an efficient travel booking system? Now, what we did once we brought that together is we wanted to develop a new experience. And this is where we've developed REX, short for Real Employee Experience. Instead of traditional forms, we've created an intuitive chatbot that uses ServiceNow's AI and machine learning capability. Now, the really cool thing here is, in this example, the employee is engaging Rex to make a travel booking. But Rex already knows the history of that employee's travel, preferred hotel, times he likes to travel. All the user has to do is confirm the details, and Rex will route the request for you. Now, if we could just pause for a second and imagine this experience not just for travel, but across all those modules that I've presented here today. This is the power of Employee X.
Now, the market and the opportunity. The current value of HR tech market is 14 billion plus, as per Forbes market research. Employee X is industry agnostic, which allows us to expand into other areas like education and public sector. Ultimately, it's designed to work in conjunction with ServiceNow HR. Our revenue model is based on per employee licensing. We forecast an average client subscription in 2018 to be $250,000, doubling it to $500,000 in 2019. Our sales forecast is 4 sales in 2018 and 20 sales in 2019. We are currently talking to clients who are keen to pilot the product. Employee X combined with the power of ServiceNow will deliver productivity, greater employee experience, and a greater shareholder value. And finally, Employee X will increase the share of ServiceNow's HR tech market. Thank you.
For the record, it's not easy going number 2 either, right?
Sorry?
Okay. Cool.
Did you say it's not easy going number 2?
I did say that.
Yeah, okay.
It's generally not easy.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome. It's getting some clarity.
See, you come, you get jokes. It's all good.
Let's go.
Go.
So love your interface, and that's absolutely what employees really want. My question is, are you proposing that this is a front-end systems like the travel system, the expense system, the payroll system, or is this going to be all-encompassing and actually be a payroll system, travel system, et cetera?
So our key focus is supporting the employee lifecycle. So rather than being very specific on just one outcome, we actually want to support the employee through that, and that's enhancing the current ServiceNow HR offering. So we want to answer is we want to encompass all. However, we're going to be deploying different functionality throughout the journey of the product.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What are you guys going into replacing right now, right? I mean, you're at a 250 or 500K price point, which second question would be, how do you double that in a year, since that's pretty rare? But what are you replacing right now? Because at that price point, you got to be replacing some existing systems. You're not replacing Excel or Google Sheets, obviously.
No, absolutely. Great question. So we're really hitting the HCM target market, and the most common there players would be companies like Workday and so on. And as we mature the product, we definitely see ourselves playing in that market.
So what's the compelling thing that makes me switch? Like if I got a system right now and all my people know how to use it and there are thousands of employees on it and I don't want to train them, and I mean, I guess Rex can train them, but like, what's the step function different that makes me say, okay, I'm going to trash what I have now and go with this?
Yep, I think it's going to be different for every customer. They're going to have those different point-to-point solutions, and we'll deliver and solve that problem. It's really going to be price point. So looking at the current market and the studies that we've done, it's really competitive in terms of price point per employee.
So first of all, congratulations on getting it done, but the good question and the more important question is $250,000 a year and then doubling it in 12 months. I have been in investment game for about 10 years. Very few companies, maybe I can count on two fingers actually, who have been able to double their revenues from year 1 to year 2. Why will you be able to do that? Like, I haven't heard anything to explain why people will pay $250K and then why it would double.
Thank you. The 250,000 is the average client subscription value, which we based on initial clients will be targeting, or we are targeting in 2018, about 5,000 employee companies. And our target for 2019 will be larger companies, 10,000 employees and more. So the average client subscription value will go up as a result of that, because it's a per employee based model in terms of the charging. In addition to that, we will also have additional modules or functionalities available in 2019, which will increase the value for average client subscription.
Do you guys have customers that are paying now?
We don't have any.
Still in the process of getting them?
So we are working with clients who are ready to pilot the product, yes.
Okay.
So we used JobVite, Concur, what else do we use? Workday, and are you proposing again that now the employees don't have to learn 5 different interfaces, they just learn yours, right? But are you going to replace the implementations of JobVite, Workday, Concur? Is that what's going to happen, or are you going to integrate with them? I wasn't clear on that.
Yeah, and I think that's our end game. Really, we see this being internal recruitment to start with and talent management, and then we'll extend beyond that potentially into that external recruitment and acquisition space. Absolutely.
That's good. Those interfaces were so bad I had to retire.
So I think just to sum it up, if I were to use 2 words, it will be a one-stop shop, and delivery will be through predictive learning. So not just what we are delivering, but how we are delivering using the AI and machine learning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys from Recruit Live. Nice job. All right, 2 teams down, 1 team to go. I'm not going to say it again. All right. You guys ready? All right, our 3rd team, company Sales 1. Take it away, guys.
My name is Jared.
And I'm Manish Patel, and we're the owners of Sales One. Jared and I have been working together for 15 years, owning and running a services company. In 2009, we made a business decision. The decision was to change our focus and become a ServiceNow partner. Last year, we made another decision. We started a new company, Sales One, to build applications on the Now platform. And our mission statement? To bridge the gap between sales and support.
ServiceNow customers have leveraged the platform to deploy many applications currently provided by ServiceNow. But what is a company to do with the sales process? In the past, the answer was to integrate ServiceNow with an external CRM. Why not let sales enjoy the benefits of the platform while removing expensive integrations and legacy CRMs?
A couple of the applications we built is the core CRM components and all of CPQ. It's all built on the ServiceNow platform. What that means is customers can take advantage of their same resources that are managing their IT apps to support Sales One. Customers are going to be free of integrations from external CRMs, and they're going to also see a lower cost of ownership and increased productivity. And when they deploy CPQ, they're going to start experiencing more accurate quotes and more consistent quotes.
Sales One provides account managers with a sales portal, which provide instant visibility to dashboards and reports necessary to organize their day-to-day activities. Also of Sales One, you can enable sales goals so account managers can log into the application and see how they're tracking against these sales goals. Also with Sales One, be sure to leverage the platform to display open incidents or open cases currently affecting your customers. Customers who utilize our CPQ application can enable their entire sales team to develop complicated quotes without the need for pre-sale support. Customers can rest easy knowing that every quote will be accurate with the use of our quote validations. After quotes have been configured, use our proposal generator to finalize your documents prior to submitting to customers. Decide to download your document and make further edits, or simply attach your document to your quote and submit for management approval. Also, be sure to use ServiceNow's reporting and dashboard functionality to give management a complete view of your sales process.
Sales One currently has 3 applications that are certified on the App Store: CRM, CPQ, and document management. We're currently selling them individually or selling them as a package. We're currently in development of an order provisioning tool, and our future plans includes invoicing, marketing automation, and reporting packages. Our revenue stream is going to come from both ACV value and implementations. We currently have 1 customer, and they just went live, and we have a big pipeline, and we're anticipating we're going to be closing 5 more clients this year. Next year, we're projected for 6 customers, bringing our ACV value to $700,000. We're really excited about the space. As Gartner stated, CRM is the largest space in the software at $40 billion, and CPQ is still growing at 20% year over year. We believe the key to success is going to be threefold. It's going to take a great product on an awesome platform and take customer success. We've built the product, ServiceNow has the platform, and Jared and I, we know how to take care of customers. We've been doing it for 15 plus years. We know it's going to be a long road ahead. We're really excited about ServiceNow Ventures joining us in this journey. So what questions you guys have for us?
Nice job, guys. Record time, too. All right, thank you.
Who's your target demographic, and why are they going to pick you over Salesforce?
So ideally, any customer of ServiceNow is a customer of ours. So, but initially it's going to be those that, either they're fed up with their current sales application, it's too costly. They've already leveraged ServiceNow as an enterprise application. So it makes total sense to bring on those sales onto the platform to streamline and automate. But initially, our CPQ was developed off of a IT services organization. The CPQ application shows really well and for an IT services organization.
So does Salesforce have a good CPQ module or no?
Did you say
Salesforce?
Salesforce?
Yeah.
Well, yes, they do have a, a really good quoting module. Very expensive, but a very good quoting application.
So if you take a customer today that maybe isn't using a CPQ package, but is using ServiceNow, wouldn't that be the low-hanging fruit to go after, or am I getting it wrong?
Yep, so exactly what you're saying. If they're not using a CPQ and they're marketing for CPQ, bring them onto ServiceNow, we can demo it, it works real well, and then it bridges right into customer service. And that's our key play is for customers that don't have a CPQ yet, but they're having issues with accurate quotes.
Is that, what kind of out of sales, ServiceNow's target customer set, is CPQ something that the majority of them are already using or not? Because it seems like it'd be a pretty natural add-on to the platform. As it has been with Salesforce. Salesforce has a bunch of CPQ products and stuff on there and bought one for a lot of money. But are the ServiceNow customers already doing some CPQ, or is that like pretty low-hanging fruit for you guys to go after?
So far, I found it's surprising, but a lot of customers are still using spreadsheets. They're using legacy applications for the CRM needs. There are going to be those that are using Microsoft or Salesforce, but even with that, they do not have a sophisticated quoting tool. So once they see what we've developed, and it's not just the quoting process, but it's what happens after the order. What can we do with the application after the quote has been created? We can create the proposal. We can send the proposal to DocuSign or Adobe for signatures. It's a complete package. It's not just build a quote. So I think the customers, like you said, for quoting purposes, it's going to be a win-win.
First of all, 15 years together. Give yourself a round of applause just for that. My relationships don't last more than 15 minutes. So. But on a more serious note, we are investors in a company very much like yours called ProsperWorks, which is, so you're on the right track. My big question for you is, can you elaborate on how big the market opportunity is with ServiceNow, and can you expand beyond the ServiceNow ecosystem?
I think we can expand beyond the ServiceNow customer base. I think it's going to take some time. We have to build up brand recognition. We have to be seen as a leader in CRM and CPQ. But given enough time, and as we further develop our application and our offerings, that we can definitely attract net new business.
The example you showed was more or less a retail example, right? Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of sales processes, like when you buy a piece of aircraft, that are very complex as far as quoting and lead times and delivery and setting customer expectations, or even just buying radio stacks inside those modules. Who really are your target customers? And I don't see this. I would say that this is, you can certainly ride the coattail of, okay, you're already using this Textron, but this division wants to use it. I think they would have a separate instance, wouldn't they, that they would use to actually have customer relationship management rather than sitting there in the ITHR instance. It seems to me that there's great opportunity in corporations that sell very expensive and very complex configurations, things like aircraft or large machinery that is being sold to the construction industry. I'm curious as again who your demographic is.
Yeah, the demographic is if they're already using customer service on ServiceNow, then this is the step above it for quoting. So that's our tie-in, and that's where we're seeing a lot of interest. Yeah. Customers that are already using customer service, and then instead of integrating in, doing the quoting process, because the quoting will tie straight into order provisioning, which will then go to customer service.
That makes a lot of sense. I think customer service is largely sold to the service industry, right? Yes. I think that you have, again, a great opportunity in these large manufacturing of large capital equipment where this stuff is, you know,
yeah, where the quotes are very complex. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really Byzantine kind of ordering systems and what goes together or not.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
Great.
Thank you very much. All right. So we need your help here. You guys deliberate. So we need your help here.
Are we off mic?
You're about to be off mic.
Okay.
Nuke their mics.
It's kind of hard to.
Okay. There you go, you're muted. Okay, so we need your help. Go to slido.com. Please start registering your votes. Please start telling us who you want to win this $1 million in cash and prizes. Remember, it's $250K to the winning team, $150 to the next, $100K to the third place team. And let's sort of take a step back and realize what we saw here. We saw Enable Labs, which is a company dealing with construction site incident management. We saw Recruit Live dealing with employee experience. And we have Sales One doing CRM and CPQ, all on the ServiceNow platform. It's really an amazing set of applications to show you the real power of the platform and what's happening within the environment. These guys are going to deliberate for a while, and then we're also going to get a bit of your input, so I'm going to wait to get your input. Make sure you go to Slido and vote for us. The music's supposed to entertain you, because I can at this point. But there's some really interesting things that are going on the platform. We need your votes to help win. You guys still deliberating, okay? We're still deliberating. Is the app working? Okay, good. I got a few thumbs up, that's good. One thing I want to remind you about is if you want to see some interesting technology built on the platform, this is the beginning of CreatorCon. There's also the CreatorCon keynote and all the CreatorCon sessions that are happening Thursday. If you want to see us talk about building on the platform, integration with tools like Slack, some of our new features like Integration Hub, come and see us Thursday at 1:30. My good friend Carl and I will be there talking to you about all some new things that will be happening on the platform. That'll be Thursday afternoon. I hope you give an opportunity to come see that for us. Okay. A few more minutes? Okay, a few more minutes. We're letting you guys vote. We're still watching the votes come in, so keep them coming. If you haven't voted yet, or sometimes they say, you know, vote once, vote often. No, I'm just kidding. I got a whole lot on that one. All right. So it looks like the votes from all of you folks are in. So I'm going to get the votes. All right. Keep voting if you haven't voted. It's important. Trust me. You guys nervous yet? You guys done? All right, so I have your votes. Thank you for that. Last year I did the La La Land joke, so I won't do that again. All right. So we had a number of votes here, and I've conferred with you guys. This is what the audience said. Those. Okay, good. All right, good. All right. All right, so now here's the way this is going to work. I'm going to bring up on stage with a big check Dominic Phillips, who runs ServiceNow Ventures, and he's going to come on up on stage, bring us a big check, Dom. Oh, hold on a second. Can I do one thing real quick? Sorry, made a mistake there. Okay. We're all good. Okay. So the votes are in. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to announce the third place winner, right? And then stop distracting me. And then, this is the important part. And then I'm going to announce the first place winner, because obviously if I announce 3, then 2, it kind of spoil the fun, right? So we're going to go 3, then 1, and then 2. Okay. So our third place winner, winner of this big check of $100,000 from Dom, is our team from Recruit Live. All right, Dom, I need 2 more checks. So Dom goes to get 2 more checks.
You have to find an ATM that'll take that.
All right. How you guys feeling? This is Vegas. Any odds? 50-50? I like that. All right. I'm proud to say our first place winner of $250,000 investment from ServiceNow Ventures and $250,000 in marketing and funds is our team from Sales One. That means you guys win second place. Let's hear it for Enable Labs. These guys did great as well. So on the way out, just want to remind you all, you can be up here next year. You can be up here with one of these big checks. Go ahead and build your app, build your product on the ServiceNow platform. It's an amazing platform. We're going to fund it. We're going to continue to do this year after year. Look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you all for your time.